I still on, Tom? Oh, Tom. You have cut out. No. Welp.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Worthit podcast in a different setting. Oh my god, JD, you're miles away.
Tom, I miss you.
You're literally miles and miles away, actually. It's very strange.
But the Prime Minister said I have to stay in bed, so...
You're damn right he did. So, yeah.
So guess where I am.
In bed. I can guess. I perhaps guess correct as well.
Yeah, I haven't left the bed all day.
Fantastic. But yeah, here we are with a Worthit podcast. It's a new episode. We're finally back after a little short break after the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis and all that jazz. I think we should actually first, before going into the topic of the day, just talk a little bit about that and, just tell you all, where we're up to, what's going on. JD coughs very worryingly in the background and, yeah, we'll...
I was hoping it didn't pick up.
So, yeah, we'll have a little chat about that. And just on a filmmaker's perspective and where we are up to. So currently we actually decided to postpone 12 in 12, our film project that we were doing. The film project where we had to make 12 short films in 12 months consecutively without stopping. Well, unfortunately, COVID-19 made us stop. So, yeah.
The literal apocalypse has stopped us.
Yeah. It's not a great situation, to be honest. Admittedly, we would have liked to have continued. But obviously safety first and people come first and family is way more important than anything else in the entire world. So therefore we are here chilling out at home, making sure we take a little step back, have a little rethink of our tactics so we can go again when everything comes back. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it, JD?
Tough's the word. I would use another word for it, but language.
Yeah, we don't want to swear in this one. We don't want to swear.
No.
But as filmmakers and as... guys that often freelance, we do freelance work. There's not that much contract-based work going on. It's really tough when people say to you, right, all your conferences are cancelled, or all of these events are cancelled, or so on and so forth. These events and situations that we usually rely on for our income and stuff, and it's really not a nice thing to be turned away from, especially when we were just at a point where we were kind of building our own little corporate base. We were trying to finally getting on our feet and stuff, and then this comes along and gives us a swift kick up.
It's a bit ironic when you think about it, because we was it last episode or the episode before, we were literally talking what a producer does, and how if a problem comes up, it's down to us to figure out how to go around that problem.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think we finally looked at a problem and went, well,
yeah, I think this one met its maker and all that jazz. So we are officially grounded for a little bit. It's not too much of a bad thing. It's actually done us quite good, because if we think about it, the way in which we were motoring on and making all our films and stuff, I feel like we would have hit a point at which we would have burnt out a little bit, and it would have kind of plateaued. Where all the hype would have worn off and stuff. So I'm really glad that we've taken this little step back.
Because we've noticed in ourselves as well, as we've been going, we get halfway through a project, it's like, man, I just want this to be done. I want to go on to the next one. Please make it stop.
That's it, yeah. So now we're taking a step back. We've actually decided to go on a little bit of a different line. We're now obviously focusing heavily on our social media presence and our platforms and stuff, and making sure that we, as people as well as a company, actually focus on social media and make sure that we are connecting with each other and growing in that side of things. You don't actually have to leave the house to do social media and stuff, which is fantastic. But what we do need to do is create content, and that's quite hard when we're so distant from each other. Obviously, we've got this podcast, which will stay as a podcast for now, with myself and yourself, JD, sat in our bedrooms or offices or wherever, doing a Skype call or a Discord call and recording externally. But then,
the audio may take a hit. The quality's... I'm not great with settings as you are. I'm just literally sat in my bed with a laptop and my phone going, hey, please be okay. Tom, please fix the audio.
And it'll be fine. It'll sound fine and stuff. And I think you'll be surprised at how it sounds, to be honest. It'll sound a lot better than you think it does. So at the minute, we are going to be creating some, nice tutorials and stuff and focus on that side of things. Basically stuff that can be recorded in a studio will be recorded, and everything else will just be put on hold for a little bit. It buys us some nice time to write some really decent content as well, especially on the short film side of things and the feature film side of things as well. So with that being said, we're actually going to move swiftly on and talk about writing in general. I think it's a really good topic to talk about at the minute because people have a lot of time on their hands. They're thinking, oh, what's a hobby that I could pick up now? What can I do to spend the time?
Man, I've got so much time on my hands. While you're talking, I'm actually just making an Instagram post.
You see, and that's exactly why writing is a really, really good way of escaping, I guess. And sometimes, it can sound very nice and very fluffy, and you get down, you get your pen and paper, or you open up your laptop, and the cursor just sits there for ages and ages, and you just have no motivation and no ideas and nothing. It can commonly be referred to as, I guess, a writer's block. They come in different formats and different ways and means. You could be like 3/4 of the way through a feature film, and you could have a writer's block, and you just think, I don't know where to go from here. Where does my character go? Where does the story end? What happens next?
Yeah, like there are some days that works, there are some days that just don't.
Yeah, absolutely. But how do we get over that? What do we need to do in order to combat that as such? The first thing we need to do is actually start at the very beginning and answer a couple of basic questions. So JD, if you wouldn't mind answering this one, how long does it take to write a script?
How long's a piece of string?
Correct. Okay, so let's put it in a more of a basic form. So, for example, you were tasked with writing a 15-minute short film, and it had to be a horror. How long do you reckon it would take for you personally to write one of them?
I mean, it took me about 2 days to write Interview.
Yeah,
in its format,
and that was how many pages was that?
Oh god, that was like 5?
Yeah, I'd say so.
5
yeah,
pages.
Yeah, about 5 pages. Yeah.
So 5 pages, about 4 minutes, 3.5, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's a good enough number. Yeah. So 2 days to write about 5 pages. So let's say you multiply that by 3. Then look at that. Hey ho, we have 6 days or nearly a week as such to write a short film script. And any of you
now,
go for it.
I was gonna say, that being said, we're not accounting for the most important thing when it comes to writing, especially scripts, and that is, as you say, writer's block. Those days where you open up the document and you just look at an empty page and go, well, this is it. It's not happening.
So let's say we'd be nice a little bit and maybe add 2 days onto the end of it. So I reckon,
some leeway.
A week and a bit to write a short film script. It's not too bad. It's not too long. It's not too short. It allows you to, I guess, then structure your day. If you say to yourself, right, rather than saying I'm going to write 10 pages today and 5 pages tomorrow and it's going to be done just like that, I reckon it's probably better to structure yourself in the sense of, today I'm going to really look at Act 1 and see where this character's going to go. And as soon as he gets to this point here, I'm going to stop. I'm going to come back to it tomorrow. You got to keep that drive going as such, because you don't want to do the majority or the bulk of the really interesting writing in one day, because then you'll blow yourself out on that one day. You come back to it tomorrow and think, oh. So in regards to one of the first big steps in order to combat writer's block is just appropriate scheduling and appropriate time management, I guess, for when you're writing your own stories.
It's pacing.
Yes, pacing is a good word for it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool, awesome. So obviously that's short films as such. So if you ever wanted to scale it up and write a bigger story, it doesn't even have to be a script. It was just like a screenplay for what they called stage. What are stage scripts called? I can't even think of the top of my head. They got a set word for them. But yes,
there is a word for it.
It'll come back to me, I'm sure it will. But
probably just stage play.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it stage play for now. Yeah, so you got your screenplays, you got your stage plays, you've got your feature film scripts, you've even got your books and your short stories and online stories and stuff. It doesn't really matter what kind of thing you're writing. All the structure is the same, no matter what. So as long as you stick to that structure, then it's a really good way and a big step in the right direction for combating the writer's block.
I think it's worth mentioning that the most important thing you can think about is just write. It doesn't matter if it's bad, it doesn't matter if it's grammatically incorrect. As long as you get something down, you can go back later. That's what second drafts are for.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes even I've noticed this, especially when I've been writing one of the bigger scripts that I've been looking at the minute. I'll like write a big chunk of it. I'll think, oh, this is awful. I'll get all the way to the end of the script and I'll go, right, let's do that again. I'll reread it through and I'll see certain points that I thought, oh, I didn't think of that before. I'm going to change that to this or whatever. And it could be like days, months, weeks, years, even whatever, before you come back to a script and say, what the hell was I writing on that day? What was I thinking?
I do that all the time. I look back at every script I write and I just go, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Who did this?
Yeah, that's right. Is there I guess there's even some scripts where I think, did I even write that? Was that even my words? I don't even remember writing that at all. It's hard sometimes.
It's impossible.
Yeah, so if you sometimes, another way to get over writer's block, I guess, in that case then, is to just take a step back, go and do something else. For like an hour, 2 hours, maybe a day. Maybe you just want to go to bed, just go to sleep for a bit.
Just do it for the whole week, just blow the entire deadline off. Just go to bed.
Just chill out.
Eat some chocolate.
Chill out. So if you chill out, you take a step back, take a breather, sit back down. Right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give it a good go. And I'll see where it gets me from there. So yeah, maybe taking time out, maybe doing a different hobby, doing something else to fill your time.
Because everyone's different. Like, there are some writers, like myself, I like to just do it when it inspires me. I'll open it up. Is it going to take me today? Yay or no? And if it does, great. I'm going to be at it for hours and hours, and I will be back after I've done several pages. But then other times it's just going to open up and go, no, today's a video game day.
Yeah, absolutely. And something in the same lines and the same breath as inspiring as you mentioned just then, something that I really like to do is go to the cinema. I like to go to the cinema, sit down, watch a really good film, and I get out the cinema and think, damn, I've got to get back and start writing again. It really, really pushes me and motivates me to do that. And even something as daft as, it's really nice in, I guess, the line of work, myself and yourself, JD, working where we can go and film another script, we can go and film another project in the meantime whilst we're writing our own. And we can get out at the end of the filming project and think, right, I'm inspired and motivated again. You always get like this weird high after the end of a filming experience, like a filming day or something. Maybe it's like a set day or something like that. Get this massive high, and you always you need to capitalise on your highs, I guess. Take it as an advantage.
Yeah, you need to take the inspiration as it comes.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing, like, I don't know who it is. There's a famous writer, and the only way they finished their book was they literally went out into the middle of nowhere, locked themselves in a cabin, and just did nothing but write and eat and sleep.
Yeah.
And even then, the sleeping was kind of missing. And, that's a way to do it. It's just, I don't think it's very healthy mentally or physically.
I can't imagine it is. And something that I've always found that's really important to me is some of the bigger projects that I've been writing for I guess 2-3 years, I've always come back to them with different and new experiences, new life experiences that I can add to the mix. So one of the biggest things was, I guess for me, was like fight sequences and dramatic sequences always develop and change over the years as I start writing more and I do other things. So I'll go on holiday, or I'll spend a year doing something in this part of the industry, or I'll do something and I'll come back to my script and think, I can change that, I can do better, I know exactly what to do now. I use like my I guess life experience as inspiration to spur me on to finish a project, because then I can look back over the script and say, I can tweak that to make it better, and hopefully it does get better and doesn't get worse and decline.
Yeah, and that's just something that comes with time and experience. There's nothing you can force on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so JD, tell me, do you write because you want to, or because you have to?
With you as my boss, I feel inclined to answer that it's because I want it. No, it is entirely because I just love making a world or a story, and then that moment where I give it to somebody else, and if they enjoy it, that brings joy to me. I like seeing something I've made bring happiness to someone else.
Yeah.
That's why I like giving my scripts to you, and then you ask me, well, what happens next? And I get to tell you, well, you're going to have to wait for the next one.
Find out on next week's episode of...
Exactly, and I love that. I live for that high.
Yeah.
That being said, if I write something and you turn around and go, this is trash, I go, oh.
Yeah, but even then, that's something that motivates me even more. If somebody says, I don't like this, and doesn't give a valid enough reason, or does give a valid enough reason, and it puts me down, I think, right, I've got to do better. I've got to make it better. Because, I don't know, maybe it's a really bad personality trait of mine, but I always try and be the best of everything, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like we say, it's different for person to person.
Definitely is. Yeah, 100%. Because you can get some people that just, sit there one day. I'm going to sit in the garden for like 4 hours and write a story. Okay, go for it. Cool. And then you get other people who stress about writing a project. And I just don't understand. If you're stressed about writing work, or you're stressed about filming, or you're stressed about acting or anything like that, you shouldn't really be doing it, should you, to be honest?
No, just take care of yourself. Your mental health matters just as much as your physical health.
And whilst this is a job as such, it's not really work, is it? Let's put it that way.
I don't know. When I wake up and I see a message from you that says, hey, we've got to record the podcast, by the way, stay at home, and I just go, oh, I got to set up the recording thing myself. That's work. That's a job. That's something I look at and go, oh. Oh, but then if you give me a deadline, sometimes I'll look at that deadline and think, oh yeah, no, I want to write the scripts. This will be great.
Yeah.
And then other times I'll just, I got to get the script done by Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, how about no?
I think it would be different if we were to do it as an actual job where we did have deadlines and stuff. I think it'd be much more stressful than if we, the situation that we're in now where we don't actually have to do it to a specific deadline. We just write until it's finished, I guess.
Yeah, if we had like the incentive of a nice juicy paycheck waiting,
and
it's just like, hey, I'll be getting a couple grand at the end of the month, and I'll be like, hey, hey buddy, I'll write 3 scripts.
Right. How do I get over writer's block? A massive paycheck. That's what it is. I knew it. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think there's like a difference between writing because you want to and writing because you have to?
Yes. It shows in anyone's work.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can see a passion. You can see well thought out ideas, fleshed out concepts. There is care and thought in every single word. But if you're doing it because you have to, well, it's like any job. You just get it over with. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that, to be honest. I think it's really important, as I mentioned before, to just to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to see it in the script, and you're not going to see it in the story. It's going to look stressful.
I was just saying how like the comparison of if you worked at somewhere like Tesco or Asda,
right?
If you want to work there, it's noticeable. You're the guy who's like, hey, welcome to Tesco, Asda, Aldi, or wherever, and everyone has a nice time. But if you're there because you have to be there, you're the guy with the really dreary face who just goes,
yeah.
Beep, $9.99, please leave.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, that's brilliant. JD, one last thing I reckon before we actually end this episode of the podcast. You need to tell me something. You need to tell me honestly, right? I need you to tell me, what is your favourite genre to write and why? Oh, and also I'm going to add on to that point, to that question as well. Does it differ to your favourite genre to watch?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll end it there, okay? just on the yes.
You've put me on a pedestal there because, like, I like writing action because it's easier.
Yeah.
You can just write instructions on what you want to happen.
Yeah.
Then it's somebody else's problem. It's the director's problem, the choreographer's problem. But then I like writing thrillers, something where you got a big twist or a turn, because you know that someone reading that turned the page and then went, and that's a great feeling. I love that.
Yeah.
Versus my favourite genres, which are more horror and action. I don't think I'd enjoy writing a horror, to be fair, thinking about it.
Do you know, I don't think I would enjoy writing a horror either because I'm not really good at watching them myself, so I don't feel like I'd be able to nail a jump scare or nail a creepy situation because, everything scares me, so, it would be scary too.
I don't even know how you'd write a jump scare. What do you write in the script? Monster jumps out. Boo!
You probably, I can imagine you just do a capital letters bang. You think I'm joking as well? I think it's genuinely. I think it's actually. It's
better than my idea of jump scare. Boo.
Oh dear. Yeah. So does it differ to what you watch?
Yeah, I'm somewhere between two opposites of horror, but I also really like actions like superhero films.
Yeah. Damn.
And I'd love to write a superhero film. I really would. Something sci-fi, something actiony. Yeah, I can write that. I like writing that.
Yeah.
Horror? No, I would never want to write a horror. God, please no.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
Please never ask me to write a horror, Tom.
No, I won't. I promise. And,
I could come up with great ideas, but I will write a terrible script.
Yeah. All right, man, that's brilliant. I think we're going to end the podcast there. That was, I guess it was a bit of a trial podcast to see if it actually worked, and I feel like it did work. So, go on.
Tom, I just realised something really important.
Go for it.
So, you know how we're under the lockdown right now with the coronavirus, COVID-19?
Yes.
Do you know what we could do?
Go for it.
More specifically, what you could do.
Uh-oh. I'm listening.
You could watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler on Netflix.
I've already watched it.
Have you actually?
Yep. No, not really. I'm only joking.
Oh!
No way would I watch that.
Oh,
no, I'm joking. Do you know what? I might actually watch it sometime very soon.
Do it. You got plenty of time. Also watch The Platform, also on Netflix. Very good film.
The Platform, excellent. Okay, I'll keep them in mind. I definitely will. All right, man. Fantastic. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening along to the podcast, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed. Of course, this is one of many podcasts coming. We're back. Finally. Really excited to be bringing content back to the YouTube channel anyway, and to all of the social media outputs and sources and stuff. On Monday, I think you actually saw a channel trailer for our overall company, so I really do hope you enjoyed that, of course. It's going to be the feature on the front landing of everything that we own for the next couple of months at least, until I get bored of the sight of it and change it up for something else. But anyways, guys, we have plenty of new series and content coming, including review stuff and a new series called Look Closer, where we look and analyse different scenes from both our own films and from other people's projects as well. A bit of a critiquing session, I guess, and that's going to be available both in video format and in written format too. So guys, stay tuned for more content. Make sure you subscribe and follow all of our socials for more bits and pieces, and thank you very much for listening. And JD,
very important to note,
yes,
stay safe, stay indoors,
of course.
Wash your hands regularly, brush
100%.
your teeth, maybe do some push-ups. That won't hurt either.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, JD.
Healthy mind, healthy
I will
body.
speak to you, of course, very soon.
I hope so. You're my boss.
Bye.
Bye.